Well, good morning, you guys. Crystal here from Homemaking on the Homestead, and welcome to my channel. This morning I have been busy, but just thought I would stop here, take a break, and have a chat with you guys. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whatever your favorite is, and let's have a little chatty kitchen table talk time. So as you can see, I've got stuff going on. Woohoo! Watch my finger. There we go. It's always so confusing on a camera. But anyways, I've got canning. That's my plan today. And I am going to be canning green beans. So what you may be thinking is that it is not the season for green beans. And so why am I canning green beans? Well, number one, you are correct. It is not the season for green beans. I like canned green beans, and I like to have them on my shelf in my pantry. But I don't like store-bought green beans. I don't like the texture of them, and so I decided to try something just a little bit different. I looked at the price of green beans that are fresh and was shocked at how expensive, but didn't really surprise me because this is not the season for them. So what I decided to do was to buy frozen green beans. I bought a 5-pound bag of Costco frozen green beans. These are the ones that I normally buy. I usually like to roast them or, put them in the frying pan with a little bit of salt and garlic and enjoy them that way. But it's nice to just have some on the shelf. So what I did is I opened the bag, put it into my colander, and just ran lukewarm water over them because I don't want them frozen. They need to be defrosted. And that pretty much did it. I then kind of sorted through them. There were a few bad ones in there or things I wouldn't want to can. And cut some of the longer ones in half, and just have those sitting in my bowl right now that I will let continue to defrost, and then I'll get busy on the canning process. I've never actually canned frozen green beans before, but I don't know why it wouldn't work. We will find out. But I have seen several people do it on YouTube, and so I figured it can't hurt to give it a try. My canner, the Presto Digital Precise Canner, will hold 8-pint jars, and so we will see how far I get with 5 pounds of green beans. If I have any left over, they will just be made up and roasted up for dinner tonight. I'm also hoping at some point during the day to make a batch of granola. I have been out of granola for a few days, and it's kind of a staple. My husband enjoys it. My son, who has been staying with us, he enjoys it. So I need to get some more granola made. So that hopefully will happen today. But I don't know. The sun came out, and we have like a maybe 5 or 6 days coming up starting tomorrow of rain. So there's a part of me that's like, granola might just wait till tomorrow. And I will just enjoy going outside and spending a little sunshine time soaking up some vitamin D. Do any of you feel the need for a little meal inspiration, mealtime dinner inspiration? I have just kind of been in that rut lately, which is kind of funny for me because that's usually not the case. I pretty much am always know what I'm going to cook and where my menu plan is at. But I was trying to use up some leftovers yesterday, and I ended up making a big pot of chicken soup, which was delicious last night. So we have some of that to finish off tonight. But it seems like I'm starting my days with, what am I doing for dinner tonight? Which is, I like to be ahead of the game. I'm a menu planner in the sense that at the beginning of the week I usually write down 2 or 3 different meal ideas, which I did, but I seem to get to the day and think that doesn't really sound very good. So now what is it? Now what do I do? So I wanted to share this with you. I didn't film myself making it, but with my chicken noodle soup, I will take this out of the bag. I made this delicious loaf of Parmesan garlic, Italian bread. Maybe I didn't go those in the right order. I don't know. Smells amazing. You can smell the garlic and the Italian seasoning. This is actually a quick bread, and I wanted something to go with our chicken soup last night. and thought that this sounded something quick and easy rather than doing a yeast bread. It was kind of getting late in the afternoon and I didn't really have time to do a yeast bread. So I ended up making that. I will leave the link to the recipe below. I did share this bread in a previous video, but I have no idea now at this point what video that was. But I'll leave a link to this because if you're looking for something savory, a quick savory bread that goes great with soup, this would be the one. We toasted it last night and just spread a little bit of butter on it and had that with the soup, and it was great. Great accompaniment to that. But now I'm left with, obviously, more than a loaf left. So I'm trying to think. So I was trying to think this morning, what do I do for dinner? So we're going to probably finish off that soup, and I am going to slice this bread and either do grilled cheese sandwiches with it, or maybe make some tuna fish and with cheese and put that under the broiler, just to give it a little bit, the meal a little bit more oomph, because there isn't a whole lot of soup left. Anyway, and make a salad or roasted green beans if I have that left over. But that's kind of my plan for dinner tonight. What is your plan for dinner tonight? What are you guys cooking up in your kitchen? Make sure you share in the comments so that we can all have some great inspiration and share that with each other. I think that would be great, just to know what kind of things are going on in everyone's kitchen. Well, thinking about meals and cooking inspiration and all of that, you know, the internet is full of wonderful cooking websites, cooking blogs, cooking, you know, YouTube channels that really can give some great recipes. And I've gotten a lot of recipes off the internet. But the other day I was looking through my storage area and I was looking for something specifically, but I ran across a cookbook that I have that I used years ago and used extensively. You know, I'm from the era that we didn't have access to the recipes and things that people do today because we didn't have internet. You know, when I was being a homemaker and a mom, it was pre-internet days. And so if you wanted information, you went to the library and you checked out actual books, brought them home and sat down and read the books. I come from this, you know, call me old-fashioned, but there is just something wonderful about sitting down and perusing a book, an actual hold-it-in-your-hands book. So I wanted to share this cookbook with you and another one just because they have been so inspirational in my life. This one I actually have on my bookshelf, and this one is Whole Foods for the Whole Family. This book was put out in the early 1980s by the Lilichi League. And it's the Lilichi League in the 50s, it was started in the mid-50s, was trying to promote breastfeeding among new moms. It had gone basically out of style. How could you, you know, tie yourself down to breastfeeding when it would be so great to just give your baby a bottle? And this became quite the norm. My mother actually bottle fed both my brother and sister. She attempted to try to breastfeed me, apparently, and had no success with that because there was no support. And even though I was born in 1964, the Lilichi League was around, but apparently not where she was, or she didn't have access to it or didn't know about it or something, because she did not get any support. Her doctor was completely unsupportive of her nursing, and the nurses at the hospital also were not very supportive because it just wasn't something that was done. And so Lilichi League tried to promote that among mothers and make it some, you know, showing moms how important nutritionally breastfeeding is and how important it is for bonding and all the benefits that come along with breastfeeding your children. And so they, of course, you know, once you're done with that phase, you're moving on to feeding your kids or feeding your family, and that is why they came up with this cookbook. It was there were several other ones that I've mentioned at other times, but this was one of the first cookbooks that really got me into cooking from scratch, because it's all whole foods, there's no processed foods in this cookbook, and it really has a nice variety of recipes in it. I personally made many of them. My book is well used. It's kind of falling apart in places, but you know, there are just a whole lot of things that they do with just basic ingredients, from breads and breakfast foods to lunch ideas, snacks, dinners. They cook with a lot of not only, you know, meats and things like that, but they do a lot of cooking with beans and tofu and whole foods that, you know, just weren't, brown rice and things like that, that just weren't as popular back at that time. So I loved it. Not only did I feel like I was feeding my family better, but I also felt like I was learning how to cook so much more. Something that my mother didn't teach me. And so I basically had to learn to cook from scratch. But this is a great book. Your library most likely would have it. Thrift Books probably has it. I don't know. But it's, if you like a book that you can sit down and read, this is a great book. It says on the back that there are over 900 recipes in this little book. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, my next one that I want to share with you is called The Best of Mennonite Fellowship Meals. Has any of you ever seen this cookbook before? It is been around for a while. I'm not exactly sure when it was, like when this one came out, because it says on the front, like the original was like 1948 or something like that, so almost in the 1950s. She probably started compiling recipes. Phyllis Pellman Good and Louise Stolfus are the authors. If you can read that, but anyway, and that's what it is too. It's a collection of recipes from Mennonites all over the place. I guess I'm kind of on this Amish Mennonite kick lately, because if you saw my last videos, I was sharing the money secrets of the Amish. Well, now I'm into the Mennonite cooking. Like I said, this is the one that I found in my storage area, and I really wanted to share it because this is another one that I have made countless meals from. They're all really good, delicious meals with a huge variety of recipes. They are not as whole foods friendly as the Whole Foods for the Whole Family is. There is, you know, it's got its fair share of recipes that use like cans of cream of mushroom soup or other processed type canned food. But what I found mostly, if that there was a recipe that I really, really wanted to try from this book, what I would do is find my own replacement for those things. So, you know, any kind of cream of soup can be replaced with a white sauce or gravy. Most anything that they say 1 can of is something that you can make yourself. They have several different enchilada recipes. Some of them call for a can of enchilada sauce. So if you don't want to use that and you would like to make it more whole foods friendly or healthier, you can make your own of any of those types of stuff. But anyway, those were 2 of my favorite cookbooks, and I just wanted to share those with you. I haven't actually looked on Thrift Books to see if the Best of Mennonite Fellowship Meals would be available. It might be. It might even be available on Amazon or your library, but there's always Goodwill or thrift stores and things like that. Just keeping a list of books that appeal to you, older books that you would like, but you just don't want to be putting out the money, or you can't locate them, and just watch from them, because you might be surprised that they pop up here and there. But oh, and the other thing too is that, I don't know, did I mention that? This one also has 900 recipes. It says more than 900 favorite recipes to share with friends at home or at church. So between the 2 books, there are 1,800 recipes. So if you are looking for some mealtime dinner inspiration, you know, consider the old-fashioned cookbook. You know, check them out at the library. Copy down the recipes you want to try before you return the book, and you know, you'll be amazed sometimes at how much inspiration you get that way. Okay, well, I think that probably covers it all. I hope you all are doing good, and I hope you definitely do share in the comments below. What do you got going on in your kitchen? What are you cooking? What do you have going on in your home, in your little homestead? And remember, I personally consider everybody's home like a little homestead. So it really doesn't matter whether you are living in an apartment in the city, or you have, anything in between that and living out in the country, no matter what, it is your homestead. If you're busy working in your kitchen, taking care of your home, doing the things that to make your home a peaceful, wonderful place, it's your little homestead. So let me know what you've got going on in your homestead today. All right, in any case, guys, I have some jars to fill, get the canner running, and see what do I get out of 5 pounds of frozen green beans. And I will let you know at the end of this video. I think, like I said, that wraps it up, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye-bye.